Hey, good morning. Raul Lopez Jr. here, author, speaker, coach, author of Heal the Boy and the Man Will Appear. I want to give you a little piece of something that's taught in this book, and it has to do with hidden strengths. And I don't use the term hidden strengths in the book, but here's what I have for you on hidden strengths, because we all have them, whether you know it or not. Some of you may be sitting in a restaurant or walking down the street, and somebody is looking at you wrong or wanting to cause problems. There are people out there that cause problems for no reason, you know? And in your mind, you're like, don't mess with me because you have no idea what I'm capable of, right? But you don't take action because you're past that, hopefully. So that is an example of something that's happened to me in the recent past where somebody has said something to me or toward me in regard to them feeling their need of significance and wanting to feel like they're stronger or better than I am. And for me personally, I could care less, right? If you want to feel like you can beat me up, or that you want to feel like you can lift more weights, or if you want to feel like you're more of a man than me, go ahead. Right? Go ahead. If that makes you feel better, go ahead. I'm not going to argue my manhood or my abilities to defend myself or anything else, because I know who I am and what I'm capable of. However, that hidden strength I have a few hidden strengths. We all do. One little hidden strength that I have is I'm a trained fighter. I love to train in kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai specifically. And I've done it for years. You know, I don't compete. I used to have a lot of fun training and fighting in the cage. But I don't compete, and I train maybe twice a week now, just for fun, because I really enjoy it, right? Not to mention my past. Growing up, I was a street fighter. And that's not a good thing. I mean, I would get into street fights all the time just because of the mentality that I lived. You know, the streets, the gangs, being incarcerated, all that type of stuff. I was lost. I had all this anger built up in me. Anything that I did, I would use it as a release, usually as fighting, because I was so angry all the time. I had this buildup in me. I was lost. I didn't know who I was, why I was here. I didn't know any of those things. I had all this confusion, this childhood trauma that I've mentioned many times in my book, and explained how I got through it. But I had that buildup. So I street fought on a regular basis every day for years and years in prison and the whole thing. So a hidden skill that I have is I can defend myself. And I don't go around telling people or talking about it like, oh, I can beat you up and things like that, because it's not who I am. But it's just something that I enjoy doing. I love training. So when somebody approaches me or says stuff under their breath, or wants to walk down the street and, puff out their feathers, I ignore it. I can completely ignore it. And internally sometimes, right, the old cool Raul, I'll think like, dude, you have no idea. You have no idea if this little switch went on, what could happen, I'm very confident in defending myself. I don't say fighting and getting into fights and all that, because I'd never do that. You put your hands on my family, it'd be a different story. You put your hands on me, I might even just push you away and tell you to leave me alone. But there are certain things that will trigger us all to defend ourselves. We'll defend our kids. We will defend our kids. We will defend our family. God willing that I never get put in that position. But that's a hidden strength that I have. So I get that thought, and I think, man, you have no idea, the places I've been, the things I've done, the life I've lived. So I choose to ignore them, because I am okay with who I am. I know what I'm capable of mentally, physically, spiritually, right? So when somebody will be walking down the street and they'll say something under their breath, and they may even call me a name. Oh, come on, man, and you're this or you're that because you don't want to fight. I walk away, right? And then I believe most of us do, because if I allow somebody like that to anger me, I am choosing to get into their energy. I'm choosing to allow them to dictate how I feel and how I act in life, right? If I'm driving down the street and somebody flips me off or somebody cuts me off and I get angry because of it, I've allowed that person to control me. Because if somebody's flipping you off, calling you names, or trying to get you angry and you fall into it, you've allowed them to put you right where they want you, right? Don't allow other people to put you in their state of mind and to fall into where they want you to be. There is no other reason for somebody else to be flipping you off and pissed off and angry at you except for they're trying to get you into that same state. They want you to be where they're at. They want you to be as miserable as they are. So going back to hidden strengths, my hidden strength is not necessarily the fact that I know how to defend myself, that I've trained in fighting for many years. The hidden strength I have is that when people talk or try to provoke me, to change my state into that negative pattern, I know how, here, to go, I'm not going to allow you to do that. The hidden strength is that I can control my mind, my body, my spirit, and that I can stay calm and ignore. There's a lot of people that can't do that. So in life, we practice, we pray, we study, we learn. And when we understand here that we have full control, and that when we live out of here, what happens is when these guys are puffing out their feathers and trying to cause problems in whatever way, sometimes it could be in a job where they just want to make you feel less than them. It might be walking down the street where they want to feel like they can beat you up. It might be at the gym where they want to act like they can lift more weights than you. None of that makes me angry. If anything, when I see it, I look at these guys, I look at these people, wonderful God's creatures, God's creations, and I think, man, I could help you. I know where you're at mentally. I know how you're feeling because I've been there. I've been that guy. And instead of me getting angry, because I understand the need they're trying to fill, I think I can help you. If you would quiet your mind for just a second, just quiet your mind. Understand that all that baloney that's going through there a million miles a minute is a lie, and that you have control over it. If you take the time to quiet your mind for 1 second, I can help you. That's my hidden strength. It's not the fact that I know how to defend myself. It's not the fact that I've trained Muay Thai, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu and the whole thing for years. It's none of that. It's the fact that I understand how to control my mind. That's a hidden strength for many of us. Don't be triggered. Get help. Enjoy the day.